What is up, beautiful people? Today I am breaking down the Sean Strickland versus Abbas Magomedov. I gotta say that quick to almost get it right. Not only am I gonna break this down, but I'm gonna show you guys how I'm going to use them to gain leverage over the field in DFS contests. It's super hot. I'm already sweating, so let's do this damn thing. All right, so if you've been following me for a while, you know I like to look at the whole damn fight card. This is from stochastic.com. If you are playing Rainmakers or DFS, it is required, I would say, to be subscribed to a premium website to get this information, because if you don't have this information, you're really handicapping yourself. Back to the main point here. I have a video that breaks down the variables that I look at when I'm looking at the fight card. I will link it to this video. I don't want to keep going through that every single goddamn time. So going through those variables, three variables, number of fights, inside distance wrestlers, and live dogs. Crunching all that, this fight card, I'm looking for win equity. I am prioritizing win equity over ceiling. Again, I don't want to explain why I did that. If you want to know, linking that video to this video. So there are times where you want to fade the main events, because fading the main event is a great way to get leverage over the field, because most people play the main event, rightfully so, because they do have 5 rounds, and the main events tend to have the most skilled fighters when tend to score the highest points. In this case, I wouldn't suggest fading the main event because it is a short fight card and there's less fights to compete with the main event. So the likelihood of the winner of the main event getting into optimal lineup is increased in this case. So I will not fade them in this fight card. Okay, so breaking down this main event here, let's first start with the numbers, the odds. As of June 29th, Thursday evening, we have Abbas at 45.2% probability of winning. Strickland 59.2. Inside the distance, we have 33.3, 29.9 for Strickland. Ownership, it's pretty one-sided at 57% with Abbas, 30% with Strickland. Looking at the fight itself, Abbas has a lot of hype behind him. There is a bit of recency bias after he just KO'd his previous fighter, Stolfus, within 1 minute. It was within seconds he made quick work of him. So there's a lot of people writing off of that. And as we all know, a quick finisher scores highly in DFS. So I can see why a lot of people will start going towards him. And the cheaper price, he is the underdog, so he's priced cheaper in DraftKings than Sean Strickland. But there's a lot of unknowns here. So many unknowns. It's a second fight in the UFC. It is rare that we see fighters fight a guy in the caliber of Sean Strickland in their second fight in the UFC. So many unknowns with Abbas. He's never fought in a 5-round fight. Most of his fights actually finish in the first round. So the upside you have with Abbas is that first round KO. Obviously, he's done that in the past. Not to say he's going to do it with Strickland. Strickland's a whole nother animal. I mean, look at him. Look at that beautiful beast right there. Downsides with Abbas is his inexperience. This is a huge step up in competition for Abbas when you're talking about the beautiful beast here, Sean Strickland. Look at that face. Going to the Sean Strickland side, proven commodity here, has fought very well in 5 rounds. He has so much experience in 5 rounds, which is funny because he hasn't fought for the belt yet. A reliable guy here. We saw a survive Cannonier, who is a power striker, so that's good. We can see that he could survive as a power striker, but he did get sent to the Shadow Realm against Pereira. So that's what I mean by this is so many unknowns here. Strickland has survived against a power striker in the past in Cannonier, but also has been knocked out by a power striker in the past in Parea Potawan. So it's just so many unknowns here. With all that said, I look at the ownership. It's almost doubled in the side of Abyss, and I could see that. But since the win equity is on the side of Sean Strickland, and in this particular fight card, I'm prioritizing win equity, I'm going to be going over on Strickland and going under the field with Abyss to gain leverage over everybody else that is in these DFS contests in regards to GPP. All right, so I want to finish this up by adding a little something, a little extra, because I do want to over deliver for you beautiful people that do decide to click this damn video. Talking strategy here, purely strategy, because this is not all about just picking the right fighters. We're talking about playing the game of DFS. And so I'm going to do a little over-under game here. I'm going to be on the field over with Luan Carolina. I know that's disgusting. I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth because she does score very low, which will reflect in her ownership as it does at 16% ownership here. But she is a live dog. She's at 35.7% ownership. Anything above a 33% is considered a live dog in my books. So I'm looking purely for the win equity here, which is okay at that ownership. So these are the things I'm doing with this as far as strategy is concerned with the Carolina pick. I like her because low ownerships gives the flexibility to eat up the chalk elsewhere, and it frees up salary. She's priced at a very low 7,300. This will free up salary to pick fighters in the 8,800 and above, in the 9,000s, where we see great win equity. We see a 67, 69, 71, 76, 85, and 93. I love that win equity. I want to stick to those fighters because, again, in this fight card, I am shooting for win equity. So picking Luana gives me salary to get the win equity up top. Her herself gives me decent win equity at that ownership level. I'm gonna take her all day. Okay, so for my under of this fight card will be Bruno Ferreira. Number one, this is outside of the numbers. I do want to take advantage of the recency bias because recency bias is a thing here. He's projected to be at 55% ownership, second highest behind Abyss Magomedov. He is coming off of a crazy knockout against RoboCop Rodriguez, which is impressive, but you don't want to overreact to that, right? This is MMA and it's pretty volatile, so it is good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I feel like we're overreacting a little bit here with Ferreira. He is going to be one of the highest owned fighters here. I do see this as a leverage spot. His win equity isn't that great compared to his ownership. He's only at a 65.8% win equity. This is a live dog situation. His opponent, I don't even want to try to pronounce that name, does have a 39.10% win probability, which is a live dog here. So this is a pivot point that I will be getting away from Ferreira. And this will also give us the flexibility to eat chalk elsewhere. All right, if you guys made it this far, pat yourself in the arse because you are really trying to learn just like I am. If you're trying to profit off of this DFS thing, I highly recommend watching videos like me, but also other dudes to really educate yourself on this game of DFS. So my strategy here, I'm going to be playing 40% cash lineups. I really like the cash structure in this week. I don't love it because the main event, in the main event, it's a bit iffy. But I do like it because there's a lot of win equity here. There's a lot of win equity on the bottom and there's a lot of win equity up top. So in cash lineups, you're also prioritizing win equity. Second part of this, the 60% of what I'm going to invest into this week will be into 9 non-150 entry GPPs. I say this because these non-150 entry GPPs, like the 1, 3, and 20, those type of contests, the chalk is very clustered up top. The reason behind this is because they tend to be hand built, and when you hand build lineups, you do tend to stay to the chalk. You don't want to start messing with these Carolina Lipskis, Griffin type characters. You tend to want to go to the main event, Magomedov, Brito, and Ferrer, because it just feels good clicking those damn names. That's how it is when you look at the ownership breakdown. The chalk is chalkier when you're playing non-150 lineups. And it just happens to be that I do want to fade the chalk in Magomedov and Ferrer. I like Brito because of his win equity. Again, I am prioritizing win equity this week. So Ferrer and Magomedov don't give me great win equity for their ownership. Therefore, I will be fading them. And that fits more in these non-150 entry lineups. That's the strategy here. Continue watching these damn videos because I will break down more of these little tactics that I'm talking about in future episodes. I'm excited for that. I am done.